Hey everyone, welcome to the 3-month update Western Town Build full-length movie. What you're going to get in this video is a 2-hour, 45-minute long compilation of all of the builds so far that we've done in the Western Town. Now be prepared for some differences in audio quality, video quality. Some videos have shaders, some do not. They certainly get much better as we progress, but as you can see, we've got a lot working for us here in the Western Town, and we're just getting started. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here in the Survival Minecraft Let's Play series. Today I'm on the server and I'm in a bit of a different place than you guys are accustomed to seeing me at. That's right, I'm here in the Badlands / Mesa biome, and you might be wondering why I'm here and why there's a little pillar back there behind me. Now, both of those have good reason, and that's going to be kind of what we're going to be talking about here today, and it's a brand new project. So we're going to be starting a brand new project, and that little pillar right there is the exact spawn point on the world, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a wild western town build here, and this is just the beginning. So my agenda for today is to flatten out and get myself a nice little place to build off of. Probably gonna have to cover up some of these ponds and lakes and everything, and place all that grass with some more of the red sand over there. You can see a little bit of my color testing for the different palettes I might use. Just wanted to see how some of the wood would look in this area, so trying to figure out how I want to use what wood and for what builds. So without further ado, let's jump right into a little bit of a terraforming little time lapse, and I'll see you whenever I'm all finished with that. Alright folks, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of a time lapse. I did not include all of it because it took me many days because I don't have a lot of time to complete all of these tasks, but I did finally get most of, a good start of the terraforming done around. So let me show you what I've done. So a lot of this was broken up. Some of this was even... Are you joking? I did a lot of the terraforming around, and still got a little bit of work to do, as you can see here, but definitely gives us a better palette, little platform to start working. And I've been tossing around some ideas, and I think what I want to do is have a road going through the middle, like just a street. I was thinking either one street or do like a square around a central building. So I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. So I may need to extend it across this little river here, which, as you can see, I did block off some of it, but I think that might give me plenty of room if I do that, if I want to expand a big circle. But this is spawn point. So I want to have this be the focal point, or at least, either spawn in a town hall building or in the middle of the street. So we will just have to see. I'm gonna brainstorm some ideas, but next time you see me, I will be either mapping out a road or a very first building. So see you then. All right, so here is kind of the progress on the town hall. I will throw up my reference here in a second for you guys so you can kind of see what I'm going for. Again, it's nothing too fancy, nothing too impressive. I want to put banners that spell out town hall, and I do believe I'm going to have like a little clock tower looking deal at the top as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking like. Pretty basic. Again, and I'm gonna toss in windows and make it look a lot better as I go on. But I think that's gonna wrap up my session for the night. But I feel pretty good about the progress I made tonight. I needed to get blocks on the ground. I've been working on the terraforming for way too long now, and part of me was probably just stalling because I didn't know necessarily what I wanted to do with it, but again, not gonna be anything too crazy at all. Gonna have make this kind of a welcome center. Thought about maybe putting a map here of our bases over there. Again, let me know in the comments if you have any ideas. If I don't end up furnishing this in this building or in this video, but I will catch you guys here hopefully tomorrow whenever I get a little bit more work done, and hopefully we can finish this thing up tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that time lapse, and I'm honestly fairly proud of how it turned out. It did take getting those banners up, but look at what we've got here. I was having a ton of doubts when making this because it is just it's a weird shape for a building. It's something that I would never build normally, just from very flat and boxy, but the details honestly have really brought this thing enough to life. And obviously I'm going to put in some windows over on the sides there, but yeah, I mean, I'm fairly happy with it so far. So to give you a better picture now that we've got this, and the interior is what I'm going to tackle next. Essentially, this is spawn, by the way. So I want you to spawn here, and I don't know which way you'll be facing. Maybe this way or this way. I think you actually face that way, but I want this to be kind of the boot, if you will, the last building going this way of the whole western town. And I'll give you a little flyover. So essentially, yeah, I want buildings along the sides. The road's going to go that way. And I may expand it over this way a little, maybe. Gonna fill in all this dirt and make it all nice and sandy. But yeah, I hopefully this is the right colorway. Color palette. I really did enjoy, and I need to fix that. But I did like the stripped birch as the corners here. Just it's enough of a subtle difference that it looks well, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of the build. Overall, fairly happy with it. I did learn a lot about banners with that, so hopefully you can all read it. But yeah, that's going to pretty much wrap up that portion. I'm going to work on the interior now, and I want this to be kind of essentially the welcome center for the spawn. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in here, but I have a lot of different ideas for other builds. So this could be fairly basic and not actually super Western, but I'll see what I can do. I'm kind of limited to the blocks that Minecraft gives me. So I'm going to brainstorm and then get to work on that. And I'll probably put together a couple of replay mods for the process there. So stay tuned, sit back, relax, and I'll catch you whenever this thing's essentially all the way done. Alrighty, folks. Well, I believe the interior of the town hall is all completed. So I'm going to walk you guys through it here, and we're going to take a little bit of a tour. Now, this place is going for more function over fashion, while I did try to add in some fashion. And I've got a couple of sneaky ideas that, and this could change. Some of these things could be different before too long, but I got it to the point where I'm comfortable with for tonight at least, and let me show you around. Alright, so you walk up. I need to get some stairs going here. That's a later issue. I'm not sure how I want this whole porch to go. I may get rid of most of it entirely. But you walk in, and here you've got armor stands. Why, you ask? Well, if somebody dies and respawns right there and they need to gear right back up to get back after it, I want them to have a place to snag a quick set of armor and get on their way. Now I have this shelf with chests. None of them are full yet. That is going to change as well. I'm going to fill in some of this stuff. I want one for food, maybe one for tools, another one for, maybe some rockets, and then another one for some elytra or something of that nature. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do it quite yet. Here I have a little workstation. This is mainly for decoration. I assume that most people are only going to use crafting table, potentially. Yeah, oh, that's the other thing. I can put some wood and whatnot in there, maybe some sticks. But yeah, I just wanted to make it look a little bit decorative. This, I want to put a map of the western town once I fill it out. I'm not good with maps either, so that'll be a project in itself. But then I'm going to put a book and quill here just saying welcome to the western town. And if you guys have a name for the town in the comments, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. Some cool western themed town names is what I'm looking for there. Got a couple lanterns up there as well, and then figured I should probably put a little bit of a loft to have a nice little place to sleep whenever you come in, if it's night when you spawn back. And then to wrap it up, I put in this nice little framed painting up there. Maybe that was the old general or mayor that used to run the town. But speaking of nighttime and taking a sleep, why don't we go upstairs, take a quick nap, and then that is pretty much going to wrap this one up. How is it going, everybody? Welcome back to the server. Today is a very exciting one, and I've got a lot of plans, and I've done a little bit of work off camera. Nothing too finished, but I'd like to show you a little bit of what I've done. Oh my goodness, did not... That caught me well off guard. You want a tango, buddy? I don't think you want to play. That honestly legitimately scared me. I was not ready for that. But look what we've done. I've carved out a little bit of a road here, and it's just kind of the pathway. It won't be this straight, I promise. And it's obviously I'm going to fill it in. I just don't know with what yet. And you're probably looking at this little chiseled bookshelf ring here, and that's for good reason. I was messing around and I was kind of debating on when to even do this video because I am, as you guys know, in the new update, and my replay mod and my shaders are not updated quite yet, which I'm sure they're working on that and it'll be ready shortly. But this is the foundation of what will be the saloon, and kind of an odd shape, but this is going to be the front door. It's going to be kind of a corner store. So there may be a street here and some buildings that way, or there may be a building there too. There will be a building next to it here as well, but I just wanted to hop on here before I got any further. And since I don't have a replay mod, I may just check in occasionally with progress reports, but I'm going to go ahead and try to get at least the shell of this thing up here tonight. And yeah, I'll catch you guys here once I get a little bit farther on this project, and I'm super excited. So I will also throw up my reference photo as well so you guys know what I'm basing this thing off of. And yeah, let's get to building. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of progress here, so let's take a look. So here we have somewhat of the porch put together here. I wanted it to wrap around the entire thing because, you know, why not? And I'm really liking it so far. Obviously, still just a shell. I wanted to get some of the walls in because, or at least laid out, so that we could kind of have a better idea. Now, the door is something that I am still thinking about how I want to make it happen. I may I have a couple of ideas that I'll have to toss around, but essentially this is kind of the floor plan. I use these beehives again, similarly to the town hall, to get this nice little plank look, which I love, and gets everything running in the same line, and it just looks better than, I needed variation. That's why I used the chiseled bookshelves for kind of the skirting. But yeah, I just kind of needed some variation. If I'm using so much wood, I don't want it to be monotonous completely. So went ahead and mixed those around, used the birch for the posts, and that's what I'm going to use for the walls. And yeah, I'm super happy with it so far. I may change these out for stripped logs as I did on the town hall, but that is to be determined. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to build this thing up and start to get the full effect going. Now for the interior, that's gonna be kind of last, and I may even have a basement potentially. I don't know how common basements were in Western buildings, but we will just have to see. But definitely a lot of work to do still today, and it may not all happen in my current, you know, day, so to speak. But I'm gonna get back to work. Just wanted to give you guys a little update, and I will see you whenever I have a little bit more progress. All right, so not sure exactly where I left off, man. That's gonna bother me. And speaking of things that are gonna bother me, is this. So I was doing the walls, and probably don't have much difference from when you saw me last. And that's because I started racking my brain because I had miscalculated. So see this? All of these corners are exactly the same amount of blocks wide. And I thought it was going to be a perfect, even walls on all sides. However, as you can see, there's 2 blocks on either side of that, and 3 in the middle here, 4 in the middle here, 3 in the middle here, 4 in the middle here. So I was going and trying to fix it, and then I realized the way I was doing it made it worse, and I would have to actually expand pretty much everything, or shrink everything, and I didn't want to do that. And if I didn't point this out, I don't know that anyone would notice other than me. I mean, you look right here. I'm not. You don't see a difference. I mean, truly. I mean, and you're only gonna notice it inside, and even then, I want. This place is gonna be cool enough that you're not gonna notice the length of the walls. So, by my own executive decision, I'm deciding to say hell with it. Sorry for cussing. And we're gonna go ahead and follow through with it and keep it going. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have some news for you. A couple of things. First of all, last clip, I know I told you I wasn't gonna fix it. Well, I did. I ended up eliminating the fully wraparound porch, as it was really not necessary, and I don't really plan on there being much back there, and if so, don't need the full wraparound. But I went ahead and I did start on the interior just a little bit, just for the sake of getting the layout done. But I went with these the pale oak doors, because when you open them up, they have that old Western saloon type look, and I think they look really good when they're open. And I'll show you just how you access that, 'cause there will be a little balcony up there. So you come on in, and here we have it. Have this little walkway. I kind of like what we've got going on here. I don't know. Feel like I'm gonna need to cap off those fences a little bit. Not exactly sure, but I use these strip spruce posts to kind of give the accents, and then the dark oak to kind of give it a little bit different feel. Don't mind this yet. I don't know how I'm gonna cap this off just yet, but up here is gonna probably be, oh boy, I'm debating. This is probably gonna be the bar, and have some seating area, but I could see a bar wrapping around the corner here. And then you walk on past, and then just may need to extend out one more. Let's just see how that looks. My problem is I don't want it to be too much down here. hate it. Don't hate it. That's good enough for me. So you come around here, bar wrapping. There'll be seating here, and then you come over here for the balcony, which will inevitably, eventually be out here. Not gonna be anything too crazy. Probably just gonna wrap. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if I want you to be able to walk up here or not. That is to be determined. But yeah, let's take a look at it with both doors open. And I really like it so far. Hopefully you guys do too. But yeah, I mean, it's really starting to come along. It's honestly starting to fit the reference that I put together. So really liking that. And yeah, down here, I kind of want this to be like the spot where people will play poker. I want to figure out how I can make like a little poker table. Working on some designs that I will be hopefully implementing. But I'd like to be able to fit a few, maybe a pool table, something like that, just so that people can hang out and have fun here in the saloon. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go to sleep IRL, and I will continue working on this tomorrow, most likely, and we will see what we can get done. Hopefully I can finish everything up. Don't know how the roof's going to go quite yet either, so got a little bit more of the bulk work to do. But I feel honestly very happy with how it is shaping up so far. So now you can kind of see the look we want to go with here. You'll be walking in or riding in on your horse, and you got the saloon here, town hall. There will be a building there. Then we will obviously have some more over here. Now, with it being this corner building, you may be wondering if I will have a road going this way and then a building here. That is still to be determined. I don't want to take away from the what you can see here, so I kind of like it how it is. I may put a building over here, but that's still something I'm working on. It kind of leaves me room for maybe putting another build back here instead and leaving this kind of open. But again, we're gonna be laying it out. I still want to put in like a little jail. Some other things as well, and yeah, but that's gonna wrap up this section of the video, so I will catch you guys here tomorrow, and hopefully we can actually potentially even finish this thing up, so we will see. So see you in the morning. Well, everybody, for the final, not so final, but semi-final reveal, let's drum roll please, and turn around and take a look at this thing. Look what we have here. Don't mind those two chests. I cleaned it up for the most part, but those have quite a bit of stuff in them, and I do not have the room. But this is kind of what we've got going on here. The exterior is fairly done. Again, got some of the windows in. Wanted to cover these ones up. I wanted them to be there, but not necessarily. I mean, if I needed one of them open for light inside, I could always open them up, but I don't plan on doing that very much. And I'm going to go inside here to give you the reveal. And the inside is not done. That's where we're going to kind of get together here tonight or tomorrow. Whatever I see fit. It's kind of late. It's 10 o'clock, but it is a Friday evening. So I could spend some time tonight staying up late and doing it. But I've kind of feel like I've earned a little bit of time to just relax. But anyways, here we have the interior. We've got a couple of the lanterns put in. Need to light this side up. And I'm still trying to figure out kind of what design I want to go with. Did add in this balcony up here, which is nice. I decided not to take it all the way across because the reference photo I have didn't do that. And I honestly don't think it would have looked very good. But I really like this. The only thing I don't like about this so far is that I used the same color fence as I did wood there. The reason I used dark oak for both the ceiling or slash floor of that level and the fences is because I really liked the contrast between the posts and the fences, literally just on this stairway railing. So I may mess around with that. I don't know. I could use oak. I don't want it to be monotonous. And I also have thought about using potentially some mangrove up there, but I don't know if having, you know, what, 1, 2, 3, that would be 4 different wood types. Yeah, spruce, oak. Actually, that'd be 5 different wood types because it'd be dark oak, spruce, birch, and then mangrove. I just don't know if that would go well enough, but I may mess around with that. So you will obviously see the final product by the time I get this thing done. But overall, I'm loving it. Now I will kind of go with, you know, through the plans here with you. I actually realized this thing is not done. I do not have all of the windows in. So why don't we finish that up right here? And yeah, so essentially kind of the plan is I want a bar, and then I want some tables, and essentially a poker table. I want a poker table, and I'm thinking, for the sake of creative ability and the amount that I'm able to pull off, in order to be able to maybe get a little more creative if I need to go underground or like a block down for anything, I feel like I need to do it here. I have debated doing, you know, 2 poker tables or 1 poker table and then a maybe a roulette wheel. Watched a couple of videos on that, but I don't know if I've allowed myself enough room in here to do that. So definitely a poker table, and then maybe just a regular table to eat at, potentially. Now, I say eat, there's no real kitchen in here, so microwave meals are a must. But I'm thinking up here may be better suited for a bar. For the simple fact of, you know, it's kind of shaped very open up here. You come up here, grab a drink, and then have maybe some sidebar seating over here with some tables, or just mainly have the bar as the main seating. Now, I've never been to a bar where you come upstairs to get a drink and then go downstairs drunkenly and fall and break your ankles, so may not be super realistic. Obviously, I think the most realistic would be to have the bar down here. However, that is a decision I'm going to make another day, because I have just made the executive decision in my brain that I'm going to take a break for the night. It's been a long work week, so and I've actually put in just over an hour into this, from where you saw last night or in the previous clip that you saw from me. So I think I've earned it. It's 10 o'clock, and time for bed. So these doors obviously can shut in. I don't know how often they will be in like that, because frankly, from the outside it doesn't look very good, but from the inside it's kind of like, well, why is there an open door here? Oh, you know what I just thought? If I did that, would this be absolutely ridiculous? You know, if people are hanging out inside, you do this, open it up, it's like nothing. Hold on, bear with me, fellas. That may actually not look horrible from here either. No, honestly, it kind of looks fine. Yeah, because let me. Oh. You just open them up and it's like nothing changed. I like that a lot. So obviously, the doors are not always going to be open. Now it doesn't look absolutely ridiculous. And I can actually. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with that. That doesn't look horrible. Now, another question. Do we like these? What about having the lanterns up at the top? Decided to do this. And I like the addition that this adds. I'm kind of feeling. Let me try it on the ceiling. What do we like more? Come up here. It has character. Yeah. At least for now, I'm gonna stick with the fences there. I did this here, these with these trapdoors, because I made there's a too wide window right there, and it directly splits those windows. There is a too wide window right here, and it directly splits right here and behind this, as you can see here. So I wanted to cover it up because A, it would look really weird if you just had a window here and you could see that it went right in front of the post. And B, from the outside, from the outside, now could I may have to do trapdoors all the way up. I don't think I'm gonna result to that, but that I don't really love how that looks. But this I feel like frames it fairly well. Does not look super out of place. You don't really think about it. And yeah, I think that's honestly looking pretty good. So I'm really liking how this is turning out. I again don't know if I'm gonna be doing the bar down here, upper table up there, or vice versa. I feel like I also need to get some stairs in here. I'm almost just wondering if that do the trick. I think it's gonna have to. The more I'm sitting here thinking about it, the more I kind of want the bar to be down here. So like you come in, and it makes a little bit more sense if bar is here, got this seating right here, you come in, everyone's having a jolly old time. The bar has a little bit more room back here, you can tuck a little bit of the supplies back here in the corner maybe. And then, for anyone who isn't just going to be actively drinking, come on up. And here we have the poker table. But the biggest problem I'm going to have is space. Now, I'm thinking it might be like a 2x2 with some trapdoors around it. I would like to be able to have some seating visible, so maybe I do. So if I have, say, okay, is this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's not absolutely ideal, but we don't need a chair for the dealer. If we had 1, 2, 3, 4, just a 4x2, we have seat. No, maybe no chair there, but seat on, one seat there, maybe 1 or 2 over here, and 1 on the edge. I don't know. It's going to be obviously a thing I'm gonna have to work on. So absolutely bear with me, but yeah, that's gonna be kind of where I wrap up tonight's recording. So I will catch you in the morning, and I may bring you guys along with me for some of the interior design process. My goal is to come up with the design, at least rough design, prior to clicking record. So then whenever I go into it, it's not a bunch of trial and error. One thing that does bug me is I hate that you can't see the town hall words until you get right here. I'd like to be able to come in. Ooh, man, wow, okay. I'd like to be able to come in and just see it right away, but it's kind of like beautiful, bang, town hall. It sucks that I can't have the word saloon here. I can maybe wrap banners SALOON or LOON. Ooh. I gotta try it. So yeah, I'm going to call it a night for me, and then maybe mess around with a couple of things. work on a plan for tomorrow's decorations, and I will see you in the morning. All right, it is the next day. I have done a little bit of work on the interior. Captain Palms did slide on over and check it out, and it looks like I need to close that door up there, and it's gonna bother me. I'll get it on the tour, but let's go ahead and check out what I've done. I did lie a little bit last time. I did end up working on some of the interior without you guys being here. Added that pressure plate. Don't know if I like it or not, but I did toss in the poker table here. And I like it quite a bit. I think it looks pretty nice and um, fairly simple. These are supposed to indicate the like deck of cards or or chips maybe. I couldn't think of anything without putting like an item frame up there, and I didn't want to do that. I may mess around with that a little bit more, but I like the chair designs. They're nice and simple. Can only really fit four. But that's essentially what we've got going on down here. Obviously, gonna do a little bit more decorating. I may put in some tables just for like extra seating in here. Don't know how I want to do that yet. But upstairs, we have not made any sort of changes quite yet. And I just did a test to see if I was going to possibly like the actually, we'll open those, close these. To see if I would like the poker table up here, and with the chairs, you wouldn't be able to walk through. So just didn't work out, which is completely fine. But that means the bar is going to go up here. So I kind of want it to be a little bit of a wraparound. So it may come out 2 blocks here, come in. Well, I don't know. It'll be tough. We're going to have to mess around with it a little bit, but I want it to be a pretty decent size. Have bar seating, however I can make that work up there as well, and really start tying this place together. So I'm gonna get back to work. I've got about 40 minutes before I'm gonna grab a bite to eat, but hopefully next time I'm in here, it's looking a little bit more done, or we are working on it together. But if it is something we're working on together, I'm gonna hopefully have a pretty decent idea of what I want to go with by the time we get it started. So I'll catch you guys here in the next clip. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty well done with this build. So let's take a look, and we're gonna go through the doors. And I pretty much did all of the interior, and I'm excited to show you. I'm very proud of how it all kind of worked out, and yeah, if you guys end up seeing anything you would do differently, don't hesitate to let me know as well. But let's go on in. So first thing you see, you've got some tables, got a little bit of decoration here and there. We've got some banners, got our little taxidermied dragon head right up there. You know, some of the old, the founding fathers of this world slayed that dragon, and they plopped it down here in the saloon, so all of their drinking buddies and card buddies can see. But here we have the poker table. You got only 4 seats, and then the dealer will just stand back here. And I really like that a lot. I don't like the tables a lot. Space was my biggest downfall here, just lack of it. And I would have done bigger tables, but I needed a pretty clear walkway over to the stairs where we have some photos, nice little fern there. And then here we have the bar. I really like the bar. I lied about it being done though. I'm going to be naming some different like potions or bottles to put in here in the item frames so people know what they can order. Bartender can come back here and serve up some drinks to all of the people out and about. So I really like the details. There's a cauldron there. I actually meant to make a furnace, so why don't we do that together? You guys can see me place at least 1 block here today, right? I think that's going to be more important than that. So yeah, we will toss that in right there. But yeah, if they can come wash their hands, cook any food to serve to their guests as well. And yeah, that's essentially it. I mean, there's not a ton to it. One of my favorite parts though is you come up here and we go out the front, and this is going to be a much better view once we get some more going on here. But one struggle I'm having internally is, do I put a build here? Now, everything in my head says yes, except for the views. I have my render distance kind of low right now because we were dealing with some lag. Captain Palms has his couple of his farms running right now. Don't mind this. We were going through some things and talking about some stuff that we're planning on doing very, very soon. We may make a video out of it. I may make it a sole video or just kind of toss it in with another one. But yeah, let me wait for this to pass. I don't know if he's going to be ready to sleep. Well, while we wait for that, I mean, there's no harm here. That's why I have that door closed on its own. But yeah, no, I'm very happy with it. I feel like it gives a very authentic look and feel. And Captain Palms, he has the Minecraft Talk series on his channel, and we haven't done a guest episode, and I would really like to get in and do that. So I feel like it could be cool to do a Minecraft Talks video here at the bar or down at the poker table. I think it would be pretty cool. So, well, howdy partners, welcome back to another episode here in the old western town in the survival Minecraft series. Sorry about that, fellas, but we have a new skin as we are going to continue work on our western town, and I have a lot of exciting things planned for this build. Now, not just this build specifically that we'll be doing here in this episode, but for the entire western town from here on out. I've got quite a big idea in mind for the overall environment that I'm going to be building here, and I've taken a lot of inspiration from Red Dead Redemption. I've been watching some playthroughs of it, never played it myself. I feel like I would love to play the series at some point, but as you guys know, I don't really have a ton of time. But that may be something we do here on the channel another time, but that's besides the point. But today we are going to be laying the groundwork for our very next build here, and let me go out and show you where we're going to be building. Alright, so as I exit the saloon, I was doing some research for my reference photo for this next build, and I was just sitting up there in the saloon, and I had to eliminate quite a few mobs out here, so it was kind of a bloodbath. But regardless, I've put in some paths. Definitely going to need some work, obviously, but I wanted to get the overall look and feel here ready to go. And I like this a lot better than just the sandstone from a color aspect, and I like that it's a noticeable difference in level. So I wanted to be the beaten path. I wanted it to be known that's been walked on. But essentially, we're going to be building right here, smack dab in between the two builds we've done already. And what we're going to be doing is putting in ourselves a little bit of a jail. So the reasoning behind putting a jail here is, right here by the saloon, we're going to have some bad actors coming in here, causing some ruckus. So as soon as they get kicked out, they're going to be sent right over here and thrown into a cell. So looking forward to it. Got a nice reference that I will pop up here on the screen here shortly. And yeah, we're going to kind of just get straight into building. Yeah, like I said, got a lot of good ideas. So hopefully this turns out the way I want it to, and we can start to really turn this couple of buildings into a real town here. So without further ado, let me get straight to work. Well, howdy, partners. Sorry. Here's what we've got so far. I will take you on a little bit of a tour, and it's not much yet, but you can kind of see a little bit of the overall look that we're going for. Now, I want to incorporate more of the spruce, I think, in this one, just to give the town a little bit of variation, because there's a lot of oak, a lot of birch. Use some spruce as accents in this one, but I wanted this one to be a little bit of a darker build overall. So I feel like, I really like the front on view that we've got going so far, but I'm wondering on how I can maybe Sorry about that. How I can maybe tie in some more spruce on this side. But yeah, I will keep working on this. This is where I'm gonna end my IRL day with recording and working on this. But I will be sure to get back after it tomorrow, and hopefully we get this video up by hopefully by Friday, if at all possible. So let's get to work tomorrow and possibly even finish this thing off if I can get enough done. So I'll see you tomorrow. Hey there, Cowboys. I'm so sorry. Welcome back. We are finally back on the server. It's been a couple of days, actually, probably since Wednesday of last week, and it is now Monday. I hope you all had a happy Easter. I had some things out of town I had to attend to, so I had to step away from the game for a little bit. But I am back, and I actually did finish up the jail. So I'm going to go ahead and sleep real quick for Sir Captain Palms. And then, yeah, we're doing a little bit of planning and everything. Like, okay. That. You can always count on that guy. But without further ado, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this thing. So we've finally completed the exterior, and I really like how the sign turned out. I like how I framed it. I wanted to do one on the saloon as well, but with the diagonals, I didn't know how I was going to make that work. But take a look at this thing. I did go ahead and toss in some windows on the outsides there for the jail cells, and I like the touch it added. The walls needed something out here, and you know, I think it just kind of fits. But I fixed up some of these paths as well, added stairs there finally, and then added some slabs on the paths over there as well. But hop on over here and let's enter the jail. So I added these little beams up here. Purpose, no idea. Looks definitely helps. I think it was just pretty bare up there, and I didn't want straight walls going all the way up because, well, for one, I was out of blackstone, and two, I didn't think that would look too good. So I think this gives it a little bit more industrial, and you know, prevents anybody from, you know, attempting to climb on out of here. So yeah, I really like that. Fixed the wanted sign, wanted dead or alive, bounty 5 emeralds. And who is our criminal, you may ask? Johnny B, no good. You guys can laugh, it's okay. But yeah, that's essentially gonna do it for this video. I do have a very exciting video planned for the next one. I'm kind of waiting for replay mod to come back, to be updated before I can really do it and pull it off the way I want to. So there may be a video between, but ideally I have a good idea of what I want to do for the next one. So why don't we have a steak, and then I just want to take a walk through the town here. So I mean, look, it's starting to really come together. My vision for this whole thing is really starting to pan out, and you know, whenever you take a flyover, am I lagging? Oh, I'm not lagging. I don't have my elytra. When you take a little bit of a flyover, you know, you can kind of see the goal here. So we've got this is the main strip. I'm not afraid to have it extend. Like, it's probably not just going to be one strip. I'm willing to come over this way, and then I will have obviously some stuff on going this way and even over into this area over here. And I may do some other stuff in the Badlands over here, like maybe some other camps or something over here. Not too sure, but certainly have quite a bit of ideas, and I'm excited to bring you guys along with me. So as I do my fly in, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one. It's going to be a real exciting video. So without further ado, I will see you in the next video. Peace. Alright, so we're going to be doing a duel here, and well, we didn't know the rules, so yeah, let's wait for Captain Palms to come on back. Alright, he is back, so we're gonna go ahead and figure something out. Okay, here we go. Burned him to a crisp. He really should have set a spawn. Hold up. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Survival Let's Play series. We are back here in the wild western town, and if you haven't seen the previous video where I built this nice little jailhouse, definitely go check that out. It was a very fun one to build, and I really enjoyed making that video and putting together that little duel that Captain Palms and I had there at the end. But today we're going to continue work here in the village, and the plan is to get quite a bit done in this episode. Now, this may not be how I go from now on, but in this one for sure, there will be more than just one singular building that is being done. I plan on really taking the next step here in the town and getting it closer to the product that I'm hoping to make it. So, without further ado, let me show you kind of what we have going on here. So, as you can see, I've got some signs scattered and some random blocks around here. That is because I've been doing some planning as well as some terraforming in this area here. So we're going to be putting in a couple of builds. I think I'm going to start with this one, and I believe I'm going to do a general store. And you know, funny enough, my reference that I'm going to be using is none other than Cracker Barrel. That's right. I'll have that up on the screen for you, but Cracker Barrel is based on a Western style building, and it's kind of, you know, they brand it as a store or a convenience store, something of that nature. So I figured why not use that as my reference, since it's probably going to be close to whatever the reference I was going to use was anyway. So that's going to go right here, and then the path is going to go through here, and there's a very specific reason I'm putting the building right there and the path over here, because I need this space open, and that's for something that you guys will see in a coming video. I don't know how soon I will get to that, but regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and start building this general store, and it's not gonna be huge. It's gonna be kind of long but not very deep. I may have to add some more sand over here, but that will be a-okay. But without further ado, let me get to building, and I honestly might come back whenever this thing, at least the exterior, is completely done. So I will see you in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have the shell of the general store all put together. So without further ado, let's reveal what we've got so far. Here's what we've got. I honestly really like it. I went with a darker look. And one thing I will note, just whenever you look at the whole town shaping up as, you know, as a whole, I'm going with different wood types for each building, and obviously I'm going to run out of the wood types I'm willing to use here pretty soon. But whoa, did not mean to fly. But I really like the contrast, and I should probably put lantern somewhere. One on each window will do. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying this. I think it, obviously need to detail the back and the sides. I might actually not do a window, just so I have more wall space to put different items and whatnot. But I'm gonna go ahead and sleep, get to work either finishing this thing up interior wise or working on some of the other projects around the corner. So I will, I'll catch you guys whenever I have a bit more of a plan in place. Alrighty, folks. Well, we are back. It is the next day, and yeah, this is kind of where we left off yesterday. Got the shell of the general store all up and running, and instead of going ahead and finishing that, I will most likely circle back and get a lot of the details done later on. But since I have quite a few more projects I'm hoping to get done, just enhancing the area overall, I kind of want to get all of the bulkiness of the work done first, so then I can come back in detail and really put all my effort into detailing all at once. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably cut in a little bit of a path going up there, and then the path along down to where I'm planning on putting some sort of a dock area around. I thought it could be cool to turn this into somewhat of a port. Now, let me get my wings in. Does this river connect all the way up to the ocean? I cannot remember if it does, and yes, it should. So I think it would be kind of cool to use this little shoreline as a little bit of a I'm gonna waste all those rockets, but as a little bit of a port. This is where all the ships come in, bringing in supplies and whatnot. So having a little dock, planning on doing like a fishing hut up here on this little elevated with a dock hanging off, and some markets and shops around the port area. So that's kind of what I want to take this area and turn it into. So then it's not just streets with buildings on either side. We've got some terrain, and it incorporates the water. And then I can always put buildings over here, next to the path. And then obviously I'm going to have buildings up on this level as well. And I have some plans already. As you can see, there's a sign there. I'm going to do some sort of horse stable or whatnot. And I'm not exactly sure if it's going to go there or not. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get to work on cutting this path in. And then I may come in with some updates, but I at least want to get part of this area lined out and potentially even built. So I will I'll see you guys here in a few minutes and show you guys what I have done. Alright, folks, I've been at it for about an hour now since the last update, and I've got quite a bit of progress. I put in a little bit more of the path and then an additional building. So let's go ahead and take a look. And I'm seeing a bat in the background. I did not expect to see that, but alrighty. So everything is starting to pretty well start to take shape, and I'm really loving how it's turning out. So obviously we have the main, what you guys are used to. But now we have expanded over this way, and here we have our fishing hut. Now this is a pretty crucial piece, and while it isn't anything too fancy, I really do enjoy the build. If for a simple build, I tried to use techniques, and it's proving to be difficult with such limited material palettes that I'm giving myself. I really don't want to use much stone, if any, so I want it to be pretty well wooden for the most part, and I'm pretty impressed with myself, don't judge. But I'm impressed with the way I've been able to vary it to where it doesn't feel monotonous over, whenever I cross over between buildings. So just different build techniques and using different wood. Like I use the acacia logs to give that weathered wood look, and I really like it. So let me jump off the back here and give you kind of a look at what we've got going back here. And this is just the start. I am going to be adding some things to this. I believe I'm going to have a step down off the front here, and then that will be the beginning of the dock going across, and it'll be a lower level. I don't know if I'm going to come off the front or if I'm just going to go off the side there. That is still to be determined, but regardless, this is a pretty good start, and I'm going to continue working on it quite a bit. So I do think that's where I'm going to quit playing for the evening. It is not too late, but to be completely honest, it is turkey hunting season, and I plan on getting up early in the morning and torturing myself, but it's something I enjoy doing, so it's not actually torture. It's just I don't get enough sleep, and honestly ever. So, but there's also a good chance I end up getting carried away and working on some more stuff, but as it stands right now, I believe I'm going to call it a night. But this episode is not over. I am going to either continue expanding or detail these buildings, or both. I wanted to give you guys a little bit more in an episode than I have in the past few. I've been working on just singular buildings, and I know the cinematics haven't been there. I haven't had any building montages, but that is just because I'm waiting on Replay Mod to update, and that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. So yeah, I'll check in as soon as I continue working on this thing. Well, everybody, we have done a lot of work since the last clip you just saw, and I have a lot of things I want to show you, and I'm pretty proud of them. Obviously, nothing too crazy, but it's really starting to come together. So why don't we exit the jail here? Wanted to be in here just because, so we can walk out and see the grand reveal of the new general store. And look at what we have here. I'm really loving how it's looking. I put up the banner. Decided not to order it like the one on the jail, which was kind of a different look. I kind of like it, to be quite honest, just the simplicity behind it. But come on in, and I did do the interiors, and we've got some books, a nice little painting there, some different materials you can buy. Need to add a couple more, and then you can get some leather on over here as well. But yeah, like I said, nothing too crazy whatsoever. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you think should be added and what other items should be sold here in the general store. I've made too many trips back to the base, so didn't want to keep going back and forth, just trying to get a couple of items here. But with that being said, let's come along down our newest path to the fishing hut and dock. So here we have the hut, and then I did extend this little dock down over that way. It's going to extend a little bit more. I'm not exactly sure how I want to do it. If I want different stores kind of just on the water, or little shops kind of just pillared up in front of the water with connectors over there, or if I want them on the sand, I'm just not sure yet. But let's go check out the inside. It's very small, so there's not a lot to it, but come on in, and we've got some fishing rod storage, nothing crazy, and just some fish barrels. And you come out, and we have this little area. I'm not sure if I want to put a dock off the back for the actual fishing to be done, or if I want to utilize these areas over here just for people to set up and fish. But I will show you kind of what it looks like from the water's perspective. I need to put some fence gates or whatnot between each of the pillars, but I do like the look from back here. It's really starting to take shape in quite a way that I wasn't even expecting, and I like the acacia logs in this build. I feel like they really give it the weathered look that hasn't been shown anywhere else, and I may incorporate it in a few additional builds here soon. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking like here. So to cap off the episode, I do want to go around from the beginning and take a walk through the entire town, just because it's starting to take shape and it looks quite a bit different than it did at the beginning of the episode. So you walk in, and now we've got not just the main street, but we've got some side streets going, and we're branching off into directions that haven't been taken, and honestly directions I did not plan on taking. I was honestly planning on it just being one street with buildings lining each one, going pretty far this way. So come on in. We've got the saloon you guys know and love right here. Man, I love this build. This is probably my favorite build that I've got in the world. But yeah, really like this place. Come out the saloon, and you did a little bit too much drinking, and you got thrown in the slammer, so you're heading over here to the jail, and get tossed in one of these cells here. So yeah, it's really starting to take shape, and don't you worry, Johnny B. No Good is on my list of priorities. Then we have the town hall here, which was the first building here in the town, and I really like it. It's quite a bit brighter than the rest, and I mean, I guess minus that one, but using the brighter trim was something that I did on the first build, and I honestly don't love doing as much, but I do like it. It has a different little look, and it is a mess. This is where I've been using it as base camp, so all my shulker boxes are in here, but you guys know the drill there. And then the two newest builds, obviously we have the general store, and I'm gonna sell all items for $1 each. I don't really plan on getting much sales out of this place, but it's more just for the looks. And then over to the fishing hut and dock. So very, very happy with how everything is turning out, and that's where I'm gonna end this video. Alright, we are back here in the western town, as you can see, and I've got a little space cleared out here, and it's a very important build for this town we've got going on over here. This is going to be the horse stable, and it may be possibly the biggest build I've got here so far. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm going to kind of wing it, and I have a reference that hopefully I can find it. I'm just looking at it on my phone right now, so I can pop it up on the screen. And it's gonna be, I'm limited as far as space a little bit. I've been expanding this area out just a little bit to hopefully give me a little bit more wiggle room, but we're gonna go ahead and get started building. I'm gonna be winging it, like I said, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to do a little time lapse. I'm using a new mod for my replays. It's called Flashback, since replay mod has been taking forever to update. So there will be certainly a learning curve, so this video may get out a little bit later than I hoped. But without further ado, let's get straight into the building. Well, everybody, as you saw in that time lapse, I've been putting in quite a bit of work, And as we walk down the path here, I start to see it come into view, and it's not done. We have a little bit more work to do, but I do have the shell of the building up, and I'm loving it so far. It is quite massive, but it doesn't dwarf, the saloon or anything like that, which is good. I didn't want to do any sort of dwarfing. I still need to put a bridge in here, but regardless, here's kind of what we're working with. So pretty basic shape, honestly, but once I get the details on this thing, it's really gonna come to life, and I'm super excited to do so. I wish it wasn't raining, but but anyways, yeah, none of the interior is done quite yet. Definitely got a lot of interior and exterior work to do, but overall, I'm really liking it. And honestly, whenever you're inside, it doesn't feel too big, which isn't a bad thing. I'm probably going to have doors going to each of the little stalls outside so that any of the horses can be easily accessed and transported in and out. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do that quite yet, but that's kind of where I'm going to wrap tonight's recording off. It's getting kind of late. It's like 10:40, so I'm going to go get some sleep, come back tomorrow evening, and hopefully finish this thing off. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Well, you saw it there in that time lapse, folks. We have completed the horse corral, and that is what we're going to be calling it. It is the corral, not just the barn or the stables, because corral sounds a whole lot cooler. But let's go ahead and take a look. So we went ahead and detailed this thing up. I put in these stalls here with the gates so the horses can come outside and get some fresh air, but they can also come inside. And we will show you a little bit more of that here in just a second. But overall, do really like the design. I went with some signs for some trim. I used the spruce as the doors so that I can have this little handle there on the sides, and they work together with the trapdoors quite a bit better than most others. Just put these trapdoors here. Again, nothing fancy. Just wanted to add a little bit. Added these little support beams. I don't know if I want to add more or keep them how they are, but then I have each of these stalls. I had a how did I think about it? I feel like I'm missing some animals. I thought my horse was in one of these stalls, and maybe he's just hiding from me, but and I also had a wandering trader's llama in one of these, so I'm not really sure where they all went. But regardless, that's kind of the whole build. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. We're going to be doing quite a bit more work here in the western town, and I wanted to put this one in because it was one that I had a good design for, and honestly, it's a nice big statement build, and it's one of my favorites, I'll be completely honest. And we're going to start expanding on this way now. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. We have a problem. As you can see here, and I'm not sure if I touched on it in my last video, my horse is not in this stable. 2003 Toyota Corolla is missing, and don't worry, Chuck is not his replacement, but He is going to be my companion as we search for my missing horse. And we're going to get to the bottom of who stole him from the new corral. You guys missed last video. I put this corral up and very happy with it, but I'm not happy with the lack of security apparently because my horse is gone, as well as my wandering trader's llama that was also captured and kept in here. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick sleep here, and then we're going to go after these animals. And then once I find them, I'm going to track down whoever it was that committed the crime. I'm going to take myself over into the general store because we will be needing a lead for our excursion. And we're going to take Chuck and search the entire map. But first, why don't I see what we have, and maybe they're here in the western town. Nothing in the fishing hut. Check the pond out back. Not seeing anything here either. My suspicion leads me to believe that Captain Palms is the one behind this, considering he is generally the only person here on the server. However, I can't be too sure. I'm gonna have to ask around and, figure out what's going on here. Are they in here having a drink? No? Stay tuned. I think Captain Palms and I are going to be doing an episode of his series here at the bar here soon. But man, I am extremely confused. Let me go get Chuck, and we're going to go ahead and go after this guy. Alright, Chuck. Maiden voyage. Let's take a little bit of a trip around the Badlands here. Just make sure they're not hanging out here close by. Captain Palms is not on to interrogate just yet. So as soon as he hops on, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of questioning. I do know that Captain Palms does run an animal transporting service, and I did not pay him to do anything for me. Let's go ahead and ride into civilization. See if I can't find anything over there. We're gonna start by coming over here and seeing what he's got. See if I can make the jump. And he did. Chuck is quite the jumper. Let's start over here in Wesley's old base. I don't think there's a fence post to hang old Chuck up on. Nothing in here so far. This guy has too many eggs. Nothing out on the back patio. Alright. I'll back on Chuck and head on over. No way he took him like into the nether or anything, right? Maybe into the enchanting station. Not up here. Alright, Chuck, let's go. There's no way he took him to the nether. I just heard. What? Sir? Sir? Have you seen my horse? Oh god. I shouldn't be here. I guess I'm going home. I did not come prepared for this. Okay. Chuck, get out of the water. Have you seen my horse, Ace? He's gone missing, and I don't know where he's been taken. Was it your father that did it? Did Captain do it? Not talking, huh? Alright. You guys know anything? I'm looking for my horse. Any idea? Maybe he brought it over to his garden. Nothing over here. Here's to all there was. Here's to all there is. Here's to all there will be. Write your own. May we continue learning and creating beautiful things that everybody can enjoy. I don't know what kind of message he's trying to send here, but I don't know if that has anything. Is there any clues here? I don't know. Let me go see what the villagers have to say. Gentlemen, have you seen 2003 Toyota Corolla? No? You're hiding from me. So we have some suspicion. Do any of you gentlemen know what happened to my horse? How about you guys? You guys are in the fishy business. I'm gonna go ahead and check all of my options. All right, Chuck, let's go. Our eyes are set. Are you joking? He was there the entire time? You're joking. Oh my god. At least he's safe, for heaven's sake. What are you doing over here? Meet your new friend, Chuck. We've got to get him back. I'm gonna take you back home, and then I'm gonna come back and get you. Don't you worry. You're gonna be safe soon. Oh, this is war. I mean, he didn't even hide him. I drove right past. I rode right past him. This is ridiculous. All right, Chuck, you stay there. I'm gonna go get your brother. Let's just say Ace Wilder is not safe. And I think I know just the spot. I'm coming, buddy. You're coming back home. I'm taking this dang lead with me, too. So, the plan is I'm going to take Ace Wilder, and this hiding spot, I showed it whenever I was searching for my trusty steed here a little bit ago. Up behind the armory, there's that little hole in the behind the path that wraps her all the way around. And Captain Palms decided to dig under the moss farm just after the redstone was completed and broke my redstone. And he left a little bit of a hole. And that hole is going to be where Mr. Ace Wilder ends up. And I think I'm going to leave him a little bit of a riddle in his little poem book. Give him some clues as to where he can find his horse. Ace, my friend, I am so sorry that you have to be drug into this, but Captain's actions will not go unpunished. Come with me, sir. Alright, up the stairs we go. Man, this horse is fast. Alright, Ace. You're coming with me. Get back in your hole. You're staying in here, buddy. Don't look at me like that. Your master is getting what he deserves. Revenge has been served, but justice has not. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a sleep at the house. Go right in Captain's poem book. And then we're gonna be waiting for him to return to the server. Dear horse thief, I've recovered my trusty steed, but I've taken yours hostage in return. To find him, you must look where damage was recently done. Good luck. HL plays. I think this'll do it. So now all we have to do is sit around and wait for that thief to come back on the server. And he's gonna get a little piece of his own medicine. I don't know if he will realize that his horse has been taken. And I don't know if I'm going to tell him. I think I'm going to let him figure it out on his own. But justice will be served, and I think I know just the place for a guy like him. Alright everyone, I am still working away here, doing a little bit of work, and here you see Captain Palms is on. I'm currently in the middle of recording a different video, but we may be serving him some justice. Okay, this guy just stole my horse again. Where's he going? This guy thinks he's all slick. Put it down. I'm gonna get this guy. No game though. Let's take them back home. Oh, this is ridiculous. Well, we get to try out our new bridges, which I wanted to show you guys. No! Oh, this is war. Where did he go? This is war. He killed my horse. He killed my horse. No way. He killed him. This is ridiculous. Oh, this is war. This is so much worse than if he stole him. Oh boy. Where'd he go? Is he hiding somewhere? Where you at, buddy? Oh boy. You in here? Oh. Where are you hiding? I gotta find him. I have no clue where he went. And I need to put my armor back. It's not a lot, but it's better than nothing. I need to get away from here. There's a creeper on the... Oh. I hit him. Where'd he go? This is intense. It does have to be like this. I gotta get him. No, what a move. How did he find him? Ace was never getting hurt in this. You have thorns on now? Oh, this is ridiculous. I need to collect my thoughts. This did not go to plan. He has a fortress. I don't think I can kill him. Fair and square, I don't think I can kill him. I can't win this fight. Alright, so we're gonna meet over here at the desert pillars. I was working on the terrain over here. Sir? Alright everyone, that's where we're gonna end today's video. A lot just happened, I'm kind of at a loss for words, but this is not over. Captain may think he got off the hook with his peace offering and offering that to replace my horse. But what has been done cannot be undone. And Ace is potentially not safe. We will have to see. So stay tuned for the next episode. We may not be immediately retaliating, but it will happen soon. So maybe drop a comment down below letting me know what I should do in return to get back at Captain Palms. Rest in peace to that squid back there. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode here on the multiplayer survival server. And as you can see, we're in the western town, and take a look at this mess. You guys likely know what this means. It means we have a build to do, and that is right, we are going to be building right behind me here. I've did a little bit more terraforming, and as you can see, I have shaders on now. It's been a little while since I had them. Did a little bit of tweaking in figured some things out. So let me know if you like the shaders on or off, and I will use that feedback, moving forward. But we're gonna try it out for this one, and today we are going to be putting in the bank, and it's one of the builds that I've been purposely waiting to do because I feel like it needs to be done right, and I didn't know exactly where I was gonna put it. But regardless, we're gonna be doing it today, so I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this thing. You guys will see me in a time lapse. I may check in periodically to kind of go over what my thought process and everything is, or I may just build the whole thing. Without further ado, let's get straight into the build. All right, everyone, we are heading into town, and as you saw in that time lapse, a lot of work has been done, and you can already see it popping up here in the distance. We're starting to expand on this way, and the bank is done, and I'm excited to show you, and I'm excited to get some of your feedback because it is not 100% complete. But as you pull up, this is what we're looking like. I wanted it to feel grand and have a kind of a statement. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't a cactus behind me, but I think I pulled it off. It's a little bit different. I used jungle wood for the first time, stripped jungle logs, and I think it's starting to really turn out nicely. I'm debating on putting a road back here, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, we're pretty much done with the meat and potatoes, I would say, but there's quite a bit on the inside that I still need to work on, so let's step right in. Oh, and by the way, I decided to name it the River Bank for a couple of reasons. One, we have a nice river right here, and two, there is an odd number of spaces in there, and bank is a 4-letter word, so I needed something to make it even, and I think it's pretty nice. I like the name, and I'm thinking we could use river in the name of the whole town. I was thinking maybe Rivertown or Riverton or River's Edge, something like that. So in the comments, I want you guys to, for one, tell me what you think of the build, and two, tell me if you like any of those names, and based on your feedback, I will likely name it accordingly. But let's head on in, and here is the lobby. So there's an iron door there, which I will show you back behind the counter here in a second. But there's a bunch of different bays, so that, and I plan on getting an employee to work each of the different bays. And this is where you can come make your transactions, make a deposit, withdraw some money from your account, etc. If it is all full up and there's nobody to assist you, you can take a seat on either side of the building and grab a book, take a little bit of time to read and relax. And I really like the vibe of it in here. I used chiseled bookshelves and pistons for the flooring, which was a different sort of texture than I was used to, but I think it turned out well. And I know this build, for one, is the first one in the town with windows, glass windows, and two, is a little bit more spruced up, but that's on purpose. You know, this is a place of value and has a lot of money coming in and out, so they have a little bit of a nicer facility. But as you come on back, I have a lever only on the inside, and that's on purpose because I want to, you know, whenever the workers are locking up for the day, I either will have a back door right there, which I think might make more sense, or I just don't want anyone to be able to access this. And how I will get in and out is lock it and just fly through the hole. Oh yeah, well, I've done it before. There you go. And that's going to be how you kind of get in and out as the employee. But back here, we just have a little nice station where so essentially they'll use a deposit slip. I can get them their money quite quickly and then go extract them from their account. And I have two options that I'm contemplating. So I have the upstairs, which is completely empty. I'm either thinking we have all of the different safes and everything up here, or I use this area up here to do like a little bit of some like office areas or something like that, where you know, somebody can come in for financial planning or something like that. Not sure. And then dig a basement and have like a really like large vault door. That could be pretty cool as well. And I could do that for looks and just have all the storage up here. Essentially, it would just be probably some stations with an ender chest on each one, just so that anyone can come up and get into their valuables. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I wanted to kind of leave it up to you guys to decide, and I am short on time. I don't have a ton of time to record this week, as I will be leaving town to go be with my fiance for the weekend. So that's why I wanted to get this out really quickly. So let me know what you guys think I should do up here, and if I should put a basement with a vault down there, because I think that could be really cool as well. But overall, I really love the vibe in this room. It's really cozy, and it's a really nice statement piece to add to the town. A little bit bigger, a little more detail. Looks nice next to the saloon, and it kind of dwarfs the saloon, to be honest. I mean, the building isn't all that much bigger, but the whole, you know, facade kind of really gives that large feel. But yeah, the riverbank is complete, and I'm super happy with it. So again, let me know if you think we should use a river-inspired name for the town, and let me know in the comments what you guys think I should do with the rest of this build. But that is going to do it for me. I'm going to wrap this one up before the sun sets, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Peace. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Western Town here on the multiplayer survival server. As you can see, in last video, we went ahead and built this bank, and I'm super happy with it. However, if you guys remember, we have a little bit of unfinished business on the inside. So I did get the main level completed, as you can see here. And if you haven't seen this video, go check it out. I had a lot of fun with this build. But, you know, aside from back there and a little bit of this, which I'm actually debating on making some changes to, which you may see in this video, we have an upstairs, which I was debating on how I was going to make this work, and I think I have a good idea for it, and I am excited to share that with you. But then we are also going to be going underground and putting in our vault, and that I am extremely excited for, as I have some really cool ideas, and hopefully I can bring them to life. So without further ado, I won't waste any more time. Let's get straight into the building. After about an hour and a half of work down in the vault, we finally have a room that I am happy with. So let's go take a look at this thing and show all the progress that I've made. So cut off the ladder, so there's a trapdoor here. Obviously wanted it blocked off. And you come on down the ladder, and now we're in the basement, and look what we've got. We've got this whole little dungeon down here, a couple of iron armor stands, and a bunch of ender chests as well. So this is the vault door design that I went with. I don't hate it. I don't love it either. I was kind of hoping to use stairs on the corners, but I did want this handle. So let me know in the comments if you think the handle is necessary. And if not, I will round it off a little bit more. But that's just kind of what we ended up going with. Went with these gold blocks to kind of border. And I initially was going to do it where the vault door was swung open and then have a room back there full of riches. However, for the sake of space, and I think this honestly looks a little bit better, to be completely honest. So went ahead and put these pillars in. That was the rounding off around the top was a last minute decision, and I'm glad I did it because I feel like it makes this room look way better. I've decided to go with very minimal lighting as well to have this kind of ambiance to it that's just a little bit dark and mysterious. So I think I accomplished exactly what I wanted to do down here, and I'm super happy with it. But now it is time to do the upstairs, which is going to be considerably less exciting. I've got some ideas, don't know exactly what layout I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into it, and hopefully you guys like the final product, and hopefully I like it as well. So I'll see you in a minute. I am happy to report that now we have finally finished the entirety of the riverbank, and I'm super excited to show you what I've done with the entire build. So I'm going to take you guys on a full tour, starting with the main level, going upstairs, and then back down to the vault. Let's get right into it. Alright, so as you guys know and love, here is the exterior of the riverbank. You come on in through the front door into the main lobby with all of these different bays, and I'm going to be getting villagers to have encased in each little one so that we have somebody to attend to anybody coming in looking to make a deposit or do anything pretty basic, nothing that really requires any additional work. Then come on in, you come upstairs, and this is where the actual bankers work. So the people who are doing all of the actual banking and paperwork and whatnot. So there are 3 different offices. They both act as places for different bankers to do their work. We have a personal loan that they're working on now. You can also have somebody come in and do a little bit of one-on-one action. So we have a different thing going on. Here's a deposit slip on that one. And then over in the 3rd office, we have a mortgage. Put some paintings up, really try to decorate it to the best of my ability with the space that I was given, which I think it looks fairly nice overall. And I did not mean to use the same painting on both. So let's switch that up. There we go. I don't know if that painting's been used anywhere else, so good enough for me. But yeah, just did a little bit of trim work on the front using a bunch of different wood types. Have a nice little seating area over here if somebody is waiting to be helped by one of the bankers. And then in between we have these filing cabinets, which I kept fairly empty and plain, to be honest. I actually meant, my initial idea for this up here was going to be much more basic with just a bunch of rows of these things across. But I didn't think that really encapsulated the vision and everything of this build. And once I started putting in these offices, I knew that I wanted something a little bit fancier overall. So to be completely honest, this upstairs turned out quite a bit better and quite a bit different than I anticipated at the beginning, and I really do enjoy it. But that is not even my favorite part of the build. What we're gonna do is we're going to go down into the depths and check out the vault room. And oh man, this place looks like you've been transported into a completely different area on the map. It's just super detailed, and I mean, honestly, it's not that detailed, but it just feels ominous, and just overall it just gives you that I shouldn't be down here feeling. I got inner chests on these little things for all the valuables, obviously. And then we have the vault door, which, as I mentioned in a previous clip, let me know what you guys think. Should I round them off and get rid of the handle, or do you like it as is? And I'd like to get a little bit more gold piled up in here, but that was just what I had stashed away. So regardless, I'm extremely happy with it. Got the iron armor stands as well. So hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode in the Minecraft Survival Let's Play series here on the server. As you can see, I am in the western town once again, and things are starting to take shape. Finally, it's all starting to come together. And I was thinking between this video and last that we need a little bit of a post office for the western town. So that is what we are going to be adding in today's video. And where that post office is going to go is right about here. Gonna go right here across from the bank, and there's a reason I didn't want to put it here, and that's because of this view of the mountainside over there. and there's a potential I may do a build up there, so I don't want to cover it up just yet. So I wanted to do it here so that, you know, whenever you're walking through, there will be a little window between the stables and the post office to see, and then again back once you pass the post office, you'll be able to see up there. And I want to use, I'm using a reference on this one, and funny enough, I was doing some research on, you know, post office in the Wild West, and the options I had, I didn't love them. They're very similar to like the store and the jail and even kind of the town hall shape, and I didn't want to do another build in that style. And then I found a Lego set, and I will pop it up on the screen because I love it and I love the colors that it uses, and it's a color palette that has not been used here yet. So we are going to use some mangrove wood as the base color, and I'm very excited to dive into this. So without further ado, let's get to building, and I will check in either whenever I get to a good stopping point or the build is complete. Well, everybody, we have a brand new view to look at when entering the town, as the post office is, I'd say, 90% complete. I think I may do some extra detailing on the exterior, but overall, I love this build. It turned out so well. Let me know if that painting makes any sort of sense for you guys. I thought it looked cool and fit really well, but let me know if it looks dumb and you want me to remove it. I put in the sign, post the flashback replay I showed you there, and I don't know what I want to do with that extra banner. It looked weird without it there, but this is kind of what we're working with. Let me show you one of my favorite parts, which is kind of just stupid, but I love the roof. It's very simple. Not a lot going on, but I think it's just something that any sort of roof character is lacking here in the town, so I thought it looked pretty nice. But unlike last video or last build right here, I did the full interior on this thing after that replay, so I'm excited to share it with you. Let's hop on in, eat a little bit of food, and welcome to the River's Edge post office. Here is our front desk with a lot of different decor. I've put these little dead plants in here, nice little paintings on either side, and here's where you come to deal with your outbound mail if you want to mail something off to somebody, and if you come in to pick something up, this is where you come. So it's a very simple lobby area, but my favorite part is upstairs, which is the mailroom. And I spent a lot of time up here actually, and it's not a ton, but I've got a couple of different shelves for packages and different things, a couple additional packages, and then some extra, storage. But what all of these are mailboxes, and I've put some in over here. This is my mailbox right here. Nothing in it, obviously. This one's for Captain Palms, and I'll let people move them around. And this one, rest in peace, Ronnie Osman, no longer able to play on the server due to lack of a new enough computer. But I gave him a mailbox because, you know, he was one of the founding fathers. So I may add in Wes as well, but he's been gone since, you know, essentially the first week. But I like these little archways. Didn't really know what I wanted to do here. I initially started out with just this section, and then decided it needed an extra section. And I have a very fun idea for you guys. So what I'm going to do is allow for you guys to drop a comment anything. And if you make a comment, I will put your name on one of these signs, and you will have your very own mailbox here on the server. I know it's not anything too special or crazy, but it's a fun way for you guys to interact with the server in some way. And I'm excited to see what you guys have to comment. It can be a build idea or just something funny, or you can just comment your name. I really don't care. Just whatever you guys think you feel compelled to say. But that's essentially it. There's not a whole lot to show. Like, it's not that in depth. I like this little tube here for some reason. I think it just kind of, when at first glance when you come in, it doesn't draw your eye. And I didn't have room for any sort of, you know, full staircase that would look good in any way, shape, or form. So that's just kind of what I ended up with. And I will talk a little bit about my color palette here. And as you guys saw in that reference of that Lego set that I decided to use when building this, there was a lot of red, and then in the photo it was mainly like white trim, but I wanted to use the strip birch to not be red and white because that kind of just looks like a barn. So I went with this color palette, and then I went a little bit harder on the dark oak than I anticipated, because in the reference obviously there's a pretty dark, you know, the porch overhang is pretty dark. And then I just thought it really accents that mangrove wood quite a bit. So I kept doing it, and every time I thought I was done, I decided to add more pillars or whatever it may be. So I still want to do some more back here. There's not a ton of additional windows other than the bottom floor. But yeah, let me know if it needs any more TLC. Nobody's really gonna be back here, at least at this point. I do have a lot of big plans for this town and expanding it, and it's quickly becoming a much larger project than I ever thought it would turn into. And I'm not saying that in a bad way at all, because it's just really exciting for me. It means I'm enjoying it. Every time I put up a building in the middle of it, I have another idea for what I want to do next. And I do have a couple of ideas. I just do not know exactly which one I'm going to pick yet. I'm thinking we're going to have to start expanding this way, though. And I think since I've had this in the works for a while, I need to just finish out the dock area and put in my little market stalls along the edge. So I think that may be the next plan of attack. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't have a whole lot else for you guys today. I do hope you like the build. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. And again, like I said, if you leave a comment, I will find a way to include your name and give you a mailbox here. And if I get more comments than I have mailboxes, I will expand. I will do whatever it takes, you know. So that being said, I truly hope you guys enjoyed this build. I had a ton of fun making it, and I'm super excited to see what all feedback you guys have for me. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode here on the Survival Minecraft series. And as you can see from the time lapse that you guys just witnessed, we've got some work done here by the riverbank here at River's Edge. And I'm super excited about it. And it's very simple, but it is a pivotal step and something that I have been kind of putting off because I didn't know exactly how I was going to go about it. So let's go ahead and take a little bit closer look, and I can kind of walk you through my vision here because it is not quite done completely yet. Okay, but yeah, here we have the bank and some of the little market stalls, and they're all unique shapes and colors and sizes, and everything about them is different. I don't love this one, but you know, it's good enough. And this little guy over here. But I went ahead and did a ton of podzol harvesting, and I was gonna just sprinkle it in, but then I figured it kind of would look better overall, just kind of lining the entire riverbank. Kind of looks like a little bit darker where the water is kind of seeping in, and I'm gonna adjust it a little bit, maybe not have it come up this little mountain quite so far. But that's all stuff I'm gonna have to figure out. But let me know if you guys like it. I think it's better than just straight up red sand overall, and it's a area that's kind of been walked on quite a bit and everything like that. So and I'm gonna add some different plants and everything, and obviously texture up with some barrel piles and cauldrons and stuff like that to really bring this thing to life. Hopefully that ends up being in this video. But I'm very happy with getting some sort of progress down here and starting to expand this way for once. And if you didn't see in the last video, I did put together this post office, and I promise all of you who commented, you will be getting a mailbox, so stay tuned for that. If you want to see your name be permanently cemented here on the server. But as we take a walk through town, things are really starting to shape up. And what I think I'm gonna do in this video is honestly, keep working down there by the riverbank, but also try to clean up the area a little bit. Start to tie things in just a little bit more than they already are, because right now I've kind of got, other than the paths, they're kind of just buildings placed on the ground. So I want to make this place kind of come to life just a little bit, and start to feel like people may actually be living here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to work, and I'll check back in once I've got a little bit more progress for you guys to check in on. All right, everybody, welcome back. I have done a little bit of work. As you can see, we've got these nice little lamp posts going on over here. And yes, the first stone variant used in the entire town. We've got some cobbled deep slate walls, actually, as the bases. I just felt like they were kind of necessary to not just be wooden posts. But I put these across every once in a while, and I think they add a whole lot to the town, and it makes it feel a lot better. I also did some work down at the little ports down here, the little shops. I just added in some barrels, some pots, and chests and different things. Not a ton of work. I'm not sure if I showed you this, but I used the podzol to kind of line the edge. I'm pretty sure I did. Regardless, I'm really liking how it's starting to shape up. Again, nothing here is done, and if you haven't seen Captain Palm's most recent video, we had a little bit of a chat for about 30 minutes or so, and there was the quote that just sticks out to both of us, that everything we do is always just 90% done and never completed. So that definitely rings true over here. But one thing that I wanted to show you, and it's kind of my favorite part of the work I've done, if if you can see over here, we've got a little path going over here, and we've got some new developments. We have a archery range that I've gone ahead and put in. So essentially we've got some arrows, a couple of bows, and they're at 10 blocks, 20 blocks, and 30 blocks. And this is kind of funny, but whenever you hit them, it makes the trapdoors come out. But yeah, no, I really like this area. You know, as I was building it and digging out the area, I kind of felt like I wasn't gonna like how it looked, but I think it's a nice little addition back here behind the jail and the saloon that fills the space, because it wasn't really set up for many buildings to go over here just due to how it's all laid out. So I think it turned out really nicely, and it gives a reason for this saloon to kind of be pointed right here to the corner, as it is now an actual corner and not just along the side. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this thing turned out. So I do believe I'm still going to be working on some additional details here in this video. So definitely don't click off, because we have a lot more to do. Definitely started chipping away at some of this additional, you know, landscaping and whatnot, because it is beginning to be an eyesore. And now that we have reason to come back here, I don't want all this to be showing. Like, it just looks like garbage. So after I show you guys what good shot I am, I'm gonna go ahead and continue working on finishing some other stuff up. So, and would you look at that? Sharpshooter. All right, I'll catch you guys as soon as I get some additional details done. After a ton of work being done here in the western town, I have some progress to show you guys, so I wanted to hop on the live camera and get right into it, and you can already see part of it here. We've done a ton of work adding in some dirt and coarse dirt trim to all the roads, just to make it feel a little bit more used, a little bit more worn down. And I'm not fully sold on the method that I used, which was kind of just lining all of it. I want to make it a little bit more sporadic, but overall I think it looks really nice. And here you can see all the street lamps at night, and I tried to eliminate most of the lanterns just sitting on the ground, because obviously that's not going to look good. So the problem we have in the town so far has been just monsters spawning. So hopefully we're starting to inch closer to eliminating that. And let me do a little bit of cleanup here. You know, we don't need these getting, you know, lost in the night. But overall, I think it's starting to look better. Now, I think all the dirt and everything looks best from ground level, how you're actually going to play the game and experience it. You know, flying above, it looks a little bit weirder. I wouldn't say weird even, just I'm not used to it yet, so probably have to see what Captain Palms thinks once he gets a chance to hop on later in the weekend and see if he thinks it's been an improvement. And I certainly am going to keep most of it if I do not keep it all, because I like how it looks, and I certainly feel like I could tweak it in certain spots, but wanted to at least get it down to see how I liked it. So I will take a quick sleep. I don't think there's been much other than that has been updated since I last saw you, but let me take a quick nap and talk to you in the morning. Rise and shine, we are back and awake, and now we can kind of see everything. Let's take a look from above. So when we go all the way up here and we're looking down, you can see town starting to take shape, and honestly, I'm beginning to feel a little bit more in love with it. I honestly really love what I did here with the podzol and having the dirt kind of, you know, merged in here. I love that. let's just go ahead and patch that up while we're here. But no, I'm starting to feel like it feels alive, and that was what it's been missing for the entirety of this project, in my personal opinion. And yeah, things are starting to feel right. Now, I certainly want something over here. Thought about maybe just like a mailbox or something like that. Of course, my reference for the post office had like a little overhang on that side for like the mail, like a horse or whatever. So I may put one over here, just have like a little mule or something to carry the mail to wherever it needs to be going. And yeah, those are just a couple of other little things that I think I need to add. I made all this dirt. It used to be just red sand, and honestly, I think it looks cool. Like these little circle patches. Over here I have this one, and I'm not too sure about it. I mean, I thought I could put like a pile of something or other to, kind of fill the space. But then I thought, well, then it'd be blocking the jail. And since the jail isn't like a store or anything selling anything, it kind of makes no sense to have storage outside. So that's a work in progress. But as we go over here, let's go check out the archery range once again. I added some cacti, and I think the area looks nice. It was a much needed filler for over in this space, because once, before this it was just wide open, and I knew I wanted one of these. I just didn't know where to put it, and I think tucking it back behind these buildings to kind of fill that space kind of made sense to me. And some may ask, why would you put an archery range directly behind a bank? Well, in the West, they kind of just did things how they wanted. They weren't as worried about safety and things that made sense. And I figured, why not have this, if any crimes are committed back here, they can be taken straight in the back door of the jail and thrown in the cell. But hopefully we don't get any drunken, saloon visitors coming over here and shooting people's eyes out. But overall, I think that's probably where I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. There wasn't a core build that was taking place other than, I guess, the archery range. And I know I didn't show you a ton of that process, but overall, a ton of progress was made here today. So ladies and gentlemen, do we have something very special to show you? Welcome to this video today. As you can see, we've done some work, and I hope you enjoyed that, because I did. And there was probably a good 75% of that where you thought, this thing looks like garbage, but I think I saved it with that chimney. Let's talk about it. What we have here is the blacksmith building, and it is not done. Most of the exterior is, but certainly a lot more detailing I want to get done. And I will pop up my reference here on the screen. And I've done quite a bit of adjusting to this thing since I've started the build. And I did not build it in creative or anything like that. Kind of just going with the flow. And yeah, for about an hour and a half yesterday, whenever I was building it, I thought it looked like garbage. But then I started figuring out the roof designs, and the chimney saved it from looking like, a 2011 style Minecraft build. And there are still some flashes of it, obviously, from behind. Not sure if I love it. It's growing on me. This little lean-to saved it, to be honest. Added in a little bit of extra detail there with the trapdoors, but the big thing, honestly, that changed it for me is I had cobblestone here, as you saw, and then I switched it out for dried coral. I believe it is the brain coral. I think I got rid of it in my inventory, but that was actually a suggestion by Captain Palms. So to show you a little bit of what we've got here, very, very small interior. Going to be working on the interior here in this video, but I want this to be a little bit of kind of the forge, if you will. And then maybe back around the back side, we will have like under here a workstation, and even under this as well. And then upstairs, I want it to be kind of the store, kind of where people can come purchase tools, get some custom orders done, and whatnot. So yeah, I got a good base going here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap, but I'll probably start working on the interiors here. So next time I see you, we're gonna be walking through some interior work. Well, folks, there we have it. The blacksmith building is complete, and I'm so excited to show this thing off to you guys. I'm really enjoying how it turned out. So why don't we take a tour? I added in the pathways, connecting everything up. Did a little bit of work around the terrain just to kind of make it look a little bit worn, like people have been working around here. It's not perfect. It's also, I would say, not done. As I continue to texture everything else around here, I'm sure I'm going to come up with ideas and things I need to use to spruce up the area a little bit more, but very happy with how it turned out. So let's start with the employee only area down here. This is kind of like the forge, let's say. So very basic, but the blacksmith can, do some of his work on the metal, and a little bucket here to quench the metal as it comes out of the forge. Got an anvil here to kind of shape the metal and everything like that. And a grindstone over here just in case there are some things we have to do a little bit of grinding. Not everyone's perfect the first time, so kept it fairly simple in here. As I showed you before, dried coral blocks for the kind of cobblestone look, honestly, but I feel like it just has a better texture than true cobblestone, and it has the colors I kind of wanted a little more. I'll show you back around here. This is kind of the wood workstation. So as you know, all tools have to have a handle. Oh my, it hit the archery range. Hopefully we don't get any other visitors, but every tool needs a good handle. So this is where the blacksmith does all of his wood processing for the handles. They're going to be put on these tools as well. And I like how it turned out. It's kind of similar to how I put together over by the sawmill with the little saw, little station there. And then I have some logs stored in the back under the lean-to, which I like quite a bit. Added a couple of stacks of barrels and whatnot, some additional wood and another grindstone out here. Nothing too crazy, nothing too finalized either. Here we have the sign for River's Edge Blacksmith, and let's take a look on the inside. And we've got another little bit of storage, and then here we have it. Here's the counter, some different items that you can pick up and test out, and then a display of all of the different tools that you can come in and buy. Put in this armor stand up here. I'm thinking I should probably reduce this to one of each and then have armor as well. So I'll probably make that adjustment as well, but I have another grindstone up here in case there's anyone who wants any custom little finishing touches put on it. We can do that up here without having to go down and bother the main man downstairs. Got some flower pots just to keep things a little bit decorated, and ended up really enjoying how the interior and honestly the whole build turned out. As I said before, there was quite a bit of time in the build process where I honestly hated the build. I was thinking, I don't know how I'm going to salvage this, and turns out ended up being something I really, really enjoy. Got this little balcony where we can come, lay some skellies. Are you serious? He just moved right at the second I shot. But yeah, it kind of gives you a unique perspective of the town. You can see what we did in the previous video down here along the riverbank, and things are really starting to come together. And I know I say that every video, but I truly just think, why don't I sleep? But I truly just think that things are just starting to become a little bit more just cohesive, and that's something that I felt over there in the Pale Garden Village, where initially it was just a building here, a building there, and how is this all going to come together? Added in some paths and whatnot, and started to kind of feel a little better. And as I filled out the town, it started to feel a little better. And now over here, branching off of the main strip here, I know in the last video I added over here with the archery range, which was kind of the first real thing I had off the beaten path other than the fisherman's hut, which also, it was such a small build and we don't really go over there so often, so it just didn't completely fill in how I wanted to. Like, yes, it was here, but having another branch down here where we have these little stalls, and along the river here, it really emphasizes the River's Edge part of this whole town name, because I want it to be known, we're on the edge of the river. And now just bringing in this new blacksmith. Oh, Blackstone. Hopefully I get one of those for my wedding gift. Anyways, but bringing in the blacksmith building right here behind the post office really helps, in my opinion, and is allowing me to a lot more easily branch in this direction, which is something I am looking quite forward to. So in the comments, let me know what builds you think are necessary to continue adding over here in the western town. Obviously, I'll tell you kind of my plans. So builds that I know will happen in the near future. Honestly, nothing commercial. It's more so I need to put in a place for people to stay, whether that be a little village of residential houses or maybe a hotel. You guys tell me what you guys think you want to see next. If I do a hotel, it'll probably be in its own build. If I do some residential homes, I may put a couple of those in the same video, and take a quick flyover after I eat a quick snack and just see how things are coming along. And if you guys are seeing it the way I am, things are certainly starting to look so much better. Now, I do want to add in some additional life here in the town. And speaking of, we do have one occupant, one person living here in the town. And I don't think I've shown him to you guys. So if you remember, we had a bounty out for Johnny B. No Good. And, well, we got him. Now, unfortunately, I was unable to get him to break his crossbow, and brute force was not going to take it from him. So he is armed. He is not dangerous because he is behind bars and will live here in the jail for the rest of his life. So hopefully we don't have any other scoundrels on the list. Now, Captain Palms may still be on my list of criminals to take over because he, killed my horse. But, I'm giving him a little bit of a free pass. I did return his belongings that he gave me as a peace offering. But that doesn't mean we're not going to get our revenge. I don't want to do it in murderous fashion. If I kill anything, it will be him, but he can respawn. So let me know what you think I should do with him in the comments. And let me know what else I should add to the town. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am. And I am honestly planning on here soon compiling all of the videos of the builds in this town into one movie style video for every one of you to binge watch and enjoy. Without delay, you can kind of just see the overall progress that has been made here in the town in one big video. And I want to do that at certain milestones. So I've been working at the town for nearly 3 months. So I think when the 3 months hits, that's what I'm going to do. So I would assume there's going to be this video and 1 or 2 others between now and then. So keep on a lookout if you guys are, have any long car rides or just need something nice to fall asleep to, or if you want to watch it over a couple of days, whatever it may be. Stay tuned because I'm very excited for that. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I don't look like a fool with my little turtle helmet on, but it has been very helpful when getting materials underwater. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.